All right. Well, Janine, I recognize that I've got another couple of minutes here before this downloads. I'm not sure whether you wanted us to try to play this entire interview or whether you want to do it separate to that. So
let's. I did email that to everyone, Robert, so they could see the YouTube video, and we do have Ron Van Dyke on the call with us this evening. So why don't let's go ahead and go with Ron if you don't mind.
Sure, that's fine. And so, Ron, what I'm going to ask you to do is, I'd like you to give a summary. Many folks know that David Wilcock has been doing an interview with a fellow by the name of Drake. David Wilcock has become well known and prominent for his work with, oh golly, my brain just went blank. What's his name?
Benjamin Fulford is
Benjamin Fulford, thank you. With Benjamin Fulford. It just went blank. And the White Knights and just a lot of what's going on behind the scenes as the deviltry of the bankers is being exposed, and not just the bankers, but our politicians and those who are using their positions of influence to corrupt on a global level. So he has brought a lot of awareness to folks, particularly in the Patriot community and in the Republic, about some exciting developments. Just last week, he has ponied up with Drake, who's part of a team of those who have been adversarial to the Republic for a number of, for basically all of our existence, and that's Harry Twinkle. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Janine, you better help me with this.
Terry Hinkle?
Terry Hinkle, thank you. Jim Lovell and a few others who have just decided that they want to go their own way. They don't agree with what we're doing in the Republic and are making a whole nother presentation. So he's got together with them, and now this alignment is sounding like the Republic, but bad-mouthing the Republic, bad-mouthing the President. And so kind of with that as a background, Ron, if I could invite you to come and lay the foundation and share what you shared in your YouTube video after having reviewed Drake's interview. So Ron is out of Florida. He is their Secretary of State. Good evening, Ron.
Good evening, and thank you for inviting me on to talk about this, because I think it's a sacred responsibility what we're doing in reestablishing the Republic. And I've been listening to David Wilcock and Benjamin Fulford and many others for a long time, very much aware of the need to establish the Republic and to get it going. And I believe it's a sacred work that we're called to do. And it breaks my heart to see the attacks against Tim Turner and against the Republic by people that I've never met. But interestingly enough, I am friends with some of these people, unbeknownst to me that they were still my friends and listened to my videos that I do every day. I've been doing them since January 11th last year. I get up really early in the morning when everybody in my time zone would be sleeping, and I'm doing my video oftentimes at 4:44 a.m. in the morning. And when I first heard Drake on Freedom Reigns radio that somebody had posted on my Facebook wall, I thought, man, he's got to be in the Republic. But when I heard a particular first name, and that's all I heard, a first name, I thought, oh no, he's not in with her, is he? And you had already named her. And I don't know Terry, and I don't know Drake, and the other person you named, I don't know him either. I've been pretty much down here in Florida, but I do have people that are part of the Republic that I communicate with because of my videos all over the United States and literally around the world.
Can I interrupt you just for a moment to lay a foundation about those particular individuals? Firstly, Terry Hinkle. Terry Hinkle was involved with the Republic at one time, was seemingly very much on board, and I had a pretty in-depth conversation with her, realized that she had worked for a couple of years at her job without getting paid for it, so really a type of person that works as a labor of love, and looked like that's where she was lending her efforts to the Republic. And then something happened along the way. I can't tell you the specifics, but just absolutely became an antagonist for everything that we're doing, trying to debunk and disprove everything that we've done, and has spearheaded just a lot of claims about all of the of what allegedly the president's done, what happened with the ID machines, what happened with funders, just lots of stuff, and has apparently this huge bunch of findings that she allegedly has that badmouth the Republic, and has not brought it forth to be reviewed by any judicial body or any independent body to verify its credibility. So it goes out there as hearsay, as media spin, and has been going on that regard for a long, long time. Jim Lovell was the governor of West Virginia. He and his wife were totally dedicated to the Republic, were in the early stages of getting all of the official records into the Dropbox, and really on board, went through some great adversity trying to get things on board in their state. Jim is a brilliant man. He's probably the smartest man I've ever heard, but he is so filled with fear and anxiety, and the black helicopters are coming to get him and different things. And so I just found that personally, I couldn't follow his what came as just going way off the reservation. I couldn't follow it, and so he then teamed up with Terry and is totally convinced that whatever her findings are true, and yet those findings have not been brought to the fore, been brought for discussion in the Republic in an open way, and just continue to be negative bad-mouthing. So those are a couple of the players, and then a radio, internet radio lady got involved in this, and she's been, she got, new to the Patriot community, got a little bit of information. I think that happened when we started to have the Florida girls come in and talk about the funding and how they had the funders were talking to them, and we were going to get funding at each state on the state level. And we're trying to deal out the president and all the president's work on a national level. And got her nose bent out of joint because somebody didn't treat her right and just went once again off the reservation. And so these people have all teamed up, are all part of a counter republic, offer no solutions. Jenny and I can't really speak to the whole thing about the state rights and whether they are now the hub of the states' rights group or not.
I'm with you, Robert. I don't have time.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have time. Exactly. So, Ron.
Well, I listened to.
There you go. So
I listened to 3.5 hours of Terry's presentations of the evidence that she was presenting. Yeah. Because I do try to keep an open mind and, more importantly, an open heart. And I believe the ministry of Christ is the ministry of reconciliation. And wherever I can, I attempt to build bridges. And that's what I was hoping for when I did 3 or 4 days in a row of videos about the Republic. I was wanting to bring the sides together if at all possible. But one of the intermediaries that was working with me brought that to Terry, and she basically said, "Ron will not listen to me," and so she cut it off. And anyway, when I listened to Drake the first time, I was really excited, but also concerned because of the name Terry involved in the conversation, and I assumed that it was the Terry from Georgia. And then when David Wilcock was interviewing Drake, he made it very clear that he was not part of the Republic and went on to badmouth Tim Turner. And I did one of the longer videos that I've done, and until today, I had only listened to it one time. I very rarely go back and listen to any of my videos. Once they're done, after the day that they pass, they pass. But today I went back after Janine called me, and I listened to it again just to hear what I said, to refresh my memory. And it already has hundreds more views just in the last few hours, which means people in the Republic probably, when they got Janine's notice, went on and listened to it. But anyway, people don't realize, and this is what I was trying to point out in that we have an opportunity here to bring something to pass that for those of us that are visionaries, we recognize that this is the work of God. This is a divine calling, as I said, and a divine responsibility as well. And we have the opportunity to, so many people in the Republic are Christians, and many aren't, by the way. And that doesn't bother me at all, because I have a different take on Christianity. To me, Christ is all and in all. And this is why I try to reconcile everyone. I try to build bridges to everyone, because all of the whole world is loved by God. God so loved the whole world. And that's the Christian message that I think has gotten watered down. And so many people, I mean, I got two people today commented on that and said, one in an email and one on that video, and said, are they trying to form a theocracy? And I said, if they were trying to form a theocracy, I would run as fast as I could in the other direction. And that's truthfully how I feel. Nevertheless, I am committed to the Republic, because I realize that we're all in a work in progress. God is doing this through us, and we all make mistakes. And this is what I pointed out in the video, that Tim Turner's human, the same as we all are. And when I met Tim Turner back in either December or January, I forget which, I mean, I was struck by his humility, and he addressed at that time some of the crazy accusations that had been made against him. And I because I'm very internet savvy and I spend a lot of time online, I was aware of some of the criticisms, and I didn't find any resonance with the criticisms when I actually met him. And I looked him in the eye, and we hugged each other, and I talked with him, and I felt a gentle spirit and a wonderful spirit. And I thought, why are they attacking this man? And if anything, I suspect that over the past year, since I first began listening to him on some of the calls back in a year ago, or actually over a year ago, in January, February, when I first became familiar with the Republic, if anything, I think he is, anybody that's attacked as much as he is going to get more humble. I mean, it's just going to be the way it works. That's how God works. He uses these things that seem to be negative against us to actually strengthen us in the inner person. And this is what I see happening with Tim, and what I see happening in the Republic. And on Monday night's call, Tim said one of the greatest challenges for the Republic is the disunity. And we really, folks, I mean, I can't encourage people enough in the Republic, or not even not in the Republic, to learn to work together, to learn to love one another. This is the core of everything that we believe our Master taught us. It's the core of all of what we're doing, and the reason we're doing it to unloose ourselves from the bondage of the ignorance of thinking that we're separate from everybody and that we can't love people that are different than us. We must love. That's what a Republic is. That's why I love the Republic idea, because it protects the rights of the individual. A minority of one is protected in a Republic. And it's not a theocracy. It's not a dictatorship where everybody has to be on the same page and on the same card. But I'd like us to at least be able to love one another and listen to one another. And that's why I stood up so strongly in Tim's behalf, and why Janine, I think, gave me a call this afternoon and said I'd like to have people feature that video and have people tune in and hear what you had to say. And as I listened to it this afternoon again, I got to admit, I was inspired. It was almost like, wow, you know,